Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're exploring something, well, pretty fundamental, but maybe easily missed in our day-to-day lives. It's this really profound connection between us, humans, and plants. It sounds simple, maybe, but things like what you see out your window, or even just a certain smell, they can actually have a huge impact on your health. So our deep dive today is digging into that bond, how our sort of everyday experiences with plants affect us. And our main source for this is a fantastic book, Good Nature, The Plant-Human Connection by Kathy Willis. Now, if you don't know her work, Willis is, well, she's a major figure in plant science, professor of biodiversity at Oxford, former director of science at Kew Gardens. She really knows her stuff, and she's brilliant at connecting solid scientific research with, making it understandable for everyone. This book is a perfect example. So our mission today is to unpack how these sensory things, what we see, smell, hear, even touch related to plants, aren't just nice to haves. They might actually be, well, essential for our health, our resilience, our quality of life, really.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just, feeling good when you see a flower. What Kathy Willis does so well is she shows the science behind it. Decades of research backing up these connections we might feel intuitively. She explains why it's all so important, especially now, with so much of life lived indoors online. It's not just about, oh, nature's pretty. It's about understanding it as a vital part of our health toolkit.
And that's a great point. It's about informed choices.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into these insights from Good Nature. Let's kick off with something really immediate, the visual side. Sight. Okay, so imagine this scenario. You're in hospital, maybe recovering. Willis points out that what you see outside your window could be like a critical part of healing. Get this. She highlights research showing hospital patients whose windows looked out onto trees healed 3 times faster than those staring at a brick wall.
Wow. 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times faster. That's a staggering difference, isn't it?
It really is. And what's fascinating, like you said, is how this isn't just an individual thing. It scales up. When you look at whole neighborhoods, areas with decent tree cover, say 20 to 35%, they consistently show lower rates of anxiety and depression. And this isn't just fuzzy feelings. It translates into, well, massive public health care savings. In the UK alone, estimates are between £500 million and 2.6 billion pounds a year.
That's huge.
It's huge. So it's tangible health outcomes, real cost benefits tied directly to having green stuff around. And it's not only mental health either, this kind of exposure to greenery. It's also linked consistently to faster recovery from physical illness, lower stress markers physiologically, and even just people reporting higher life satisfaction overall.
It suggests this really holistic benefit, doesn't it? Affecting body and mind.
Definitely. It touches everything, often without us even consciously clocking it.
The power of just seeing green. It really makes you think about your own space, doesn't it? So what can you do with this? Well, Willis has some practical ideas. If you can, try arranging your desk or your living room sofa so you're facing some greenery. And look, if you don't have a garden view, that's okay. Even just bringing plants inside makes a difference. A small plant on your desk, maybe a fern in the corner. Studies show even that can help with focus and just lift your mood. I find that myself, actually. My workspace feels much better with a couple of plants.
It's an accessible starting point for almost anyone, right? Harnessing a bit of that green power.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on from sight, let's talk about smell, what we breathe in. This gets really interesting because it's not just about nice smells. It's about specific plant compounds, natural ones, having actual physiological effects. Willis talks about things called pines. That smell you get from pine trees, cedar, juniper.
That forest smell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, just inhaling those compounds can apparently reduce your heart rate in less than 2 minutes.
Wow, that quickly.
Yeah. And there's more. Things like cypress and juniper oils, they've been shown to boost your natural killer cells.
Those are key for immunity, right?
Exactly. Key part of your immune system.
Yeah.
So these scents are actually strengthening your body's defenses.
Which brings up a really crucial distinction that Willis emphasizes. These benefits we're talking about, the reduced heart rate, the immune boost, they are only linked to genuine plant-derived scents. Those synthetic pine air fresheners or candles? They might smell similar, but they don't do the same thing biologically.
Ah, okay. So the body knows the difference.
It seems so. Your body is responding to the specific natural molecules, the real deal. Synthetics just don't have that same interaction with our biology.
That's really important to know. Separates the real benefit from just pleasant smell. So practically speaking, maybe diffusing natural essential oils.
That's a great way to do it.
Things like pine or cedar, obviously, or maybe hinoki. That's a Japanese cypress, isn't it? Known for being calming.
Yes, hinoki is wonderful. Very calming, good for immunity too. They're excellent choices if you want that genuine plant compound effect for stress or immune support.
Okay, good tip. So we've got sight, we've got smell. What about hearing? The sounds of nature.
Right, the soundtrack.
Yeah. Willis highlights how natural soundscapes, birds singing, water flowing, leaves rustling, these aren't just relaxing background noise. They can actually lower stress hormones, cortisol levels, things like that, and improve focus too. There have even been controlled experiments showing that playing natural sounds during, say, surgery or post-op recovery can lead to better patient outcomes.
It makes a lot of sense from an evolutionary perspective, doesn't it? We evolved surrounded by these sounds, so our brains are sort of hardwired to interpret certain natural sounds, birdsong, gentle water, as signals of safety, non-threatening.
Like an all-clear signal.
Pretty much. Historically, those sounds meant no immediate danger, resources nearby. So that deep-seated response helps calm our nervous system, reduces that fight or flight stress, and lets us focus better. It's like our ancient brain saying, relax, you're safe here.
That really clicks. It feels intuitive when you put it like that.
Yeah.
So for a practical takeaway, maybe just integrate nature sounds more.
Absolutely. It's so easy these days.
Play recordings of birdsong or rain or rustling leaves while you're working or just relaxing.
Yeah, background audio, it can really change the whole feel of a room or a headspace.
Okay, so we've covered the distant senses. What about getting up close? Physical interaction, touch.
This is where it gets even more hands-on, literally.
Willis explores the benefits of actually touching organic soil. Sounds incredibly basic, right?
Getting your hands dirty.
But apparently, direct contact with healthy soil helps support your gut microbiome. Now, all of those microbes living in our intestines.
Which is increasingly linked to all sorts of health outcomes.
Exactly. And a healthier microbiome might even lower risks for autoimmune conditions. There were some Finnish studies she mentions that found repeated soil exposure actually sustains these benefits over time.
And so it's not just a one-off effect.
Seems not. And it's not just soil. Touching natural materials like wood, other natural textures, that also measurably reduces stress levels and can lower your heart rate.
It really underscores this fundamental link, doesn't it, between our own internal biology, our microbiome, and the wider natural world outside. Especially that microbial diversity. We sort of co-evolved with it, and our modern, often quite sterile indoor lives might be missing that vital input our bodies expect.
Yeah, we're almost too clean sometimes.
You could argue that, yeah.
Yeah?
It reminds us we're not separate from nature. We're intrinsically part of it. Our inner ecosystem needs connection with the outer one.
It's definitely a nudge to maybe embrace getting a bit grubby. I remember playing in mud constantly as a kid.
Probably did you a world of good.
Maybe. Willis actually suggests things like gardening without gloves.
Right.
A great way to get that microbiome exposure. And she really stresses how important outdoor, unstructured play is for kids, not just for fun, but for building resilience, helping focus, and cultivating that crucial microbial diversity right from the start.
Absolutely vital for development.
And there's more to our interaction than just touch. Willis also looks at colors and flowers specifically, how they impact mood and thinking.
Right, the aesthetics have a function too.
Yeah, like pink flowers, think roses. They can apparently induce a feeling of calm within about 4 minutes.
4 minutes, that's quick.
I know. And then yellow flowers, on the other hand, they seem to boost creativity and productivity.
Interesting contrast, calm versus creative boost.
And she links this back to evolution again. Humans seem to have this preference for certain landscapes, savanna-like, open spaces with vibrant flowers. Maybe it signals safety, resources again. It's kind of built in.
So these preferences aren't just random.
Apparently not. So you could actually use this. Need a calm space like a bedroom. Maybe add some pink flowers. Need to brainstorm or get work done. Maybe a vase of yellow flowers in your office or workspace could, give you a little nudge.
Using color psychology, but rooted in nature. Clever.
Okay, so we've touched on sight, smell, sound, touch, even specific colors.
Yeah.
But what's the bigger picture here? Kathy Willis isn't just listing cool facts, is she? She seems to be advocating for something more integrated.
Exactly. She pulls it all together with this idea of designing sensescapes.
Sensescapes?
Yeah, environments, basically, that are intentionally designed to stimulate multiple senses using plants. So it's not just, one lonely pot plant. It's about thinking holistically, bringing plants indoors in ways that leverage sight, smell, maybe even sound if you have water features, and touch. And at the same time, actively encouraging and designing opportunities for restorative time outdoors, Walks, parks, gardens. It's a whole approach to well-being design.
Ah, I see. Combining the indoor and outdoor experience through a sensory lens.
Precisely. And this naturally leads into broader societal implications, which she tackles head-on. Willis argues pretty powerfully that for too long, urban planning and public policy have just overlooked the immense health value of nature, seriously undervalued it.
Treating it like an optional extra, maybe.
Exactly, a cosmetic thing, not essential infrastructure. Imagine if access to green spaces, equitable access for everyone, was treated as a fundamental right, like access to clean water or healthcare. She suggests this shift could literally transform public health, treating nature as a form of preventive medicine.
Preventive medicine. I like that framing.
Because it is, and it's accessible, it's scalable across whole populations. The evidence for the benefits is piling up. The real hurdle, as always, is the political will, the investment needed to make widespread green infrastructure a reality for everyone.
Really brings it all home, doesn't it? That core message from Good Nature, connecting with plants, using all our senses, sight, smell, sound, touch. It isn't just pleasant. It's actually vital, essential for our health, our ability to cope with stress, our resilience.
It's fundamental.
And it doesn't have to be some huge undertaking either. As a final reminder, Willis points out that even relatively small amounts of time outdoors make a measurable difference.
Yeah, the threshold isn't impossibly high.
Right. Just 120 minutes a week, 2 hours spread over 7 days. That could be a couple walks in the park, some time in the garden. It's achievable for most people.
And the return on investment for your health is significant.
Absolutely. So, wrapping up our deep dive into Kathy Willis's Good Nature, the takeaway is pretty powerful, but also quite simple and practical, isn't it? Our well-being is just deeply fundamentally tangled up with the natural world, and making small, intentional efforts to connect with plants through our senses can genuinely boost our health in significant ways.
It really can. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, picking up on those societal implications Kathy Willis raises. What if we really started treating plants and nature as a primary form of preventative medicine, not just a luxury, not an afterthought? How different would our cities look, our schools, our daily routines? How might things be fundamentally reshaped if that became our guiding principle? It's a huge question with massive potential implications for our collective future and for our own health.
That's a really powerful question to ponder. Definitely food for thought. So as you go about your day, maybe just pay a little more attention to that plant-human connection. Look out the window, breathe deep near some trees, listen for the birds, touch a leaf. You might just be surprised at the difference those simple acts can make. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.